I know it's hard, but you played in arguably the greatest era, the 80s, that we've seen. How would you rank Bad Boy Pistons, Showtime Lakers, the Big Three Celtics, the Bulls at the tail end, although they didn't win, they did to you what you had did to the Celtics and the Lakers. They were stalking from an outside position. How would you rank the dynasties of the 80s?
So you'd have to rank the Lakers, Celtics, arguably 1 or 2,
Okay.
1A, 1B, depending on, do you like vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream? But it's still ice cream,
Right, correct.
And in Philly, that period of time with Moses and Dr. J, in the 80s, you got to give them their respect too.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would probably be, in the 80s, we would be somewhere in there as a basketball team. Now, talent-wise, the Lakers, the Celtics, the 76ers, we could not compete with their talent.
Mm-hmm.
But as a basketball team, as a unit, I would venture to say that our basketball team as a unit was just as good as their teams.
Okay.
However, if you just breaking it down by talent, we did not have the talent that any of those teams had. But not having the talent is really what made us even more special, because we didn't have the luxury that they had.
Right. You didn't have all those. I mean, the Lakers are littered with Hall of Famers. They got 6 or 7. We know about Kareem and Magic and James Worthy and Jamal Wilkes and Bob McAdoo. We know about those guys. Norm Nixon was a heck of a player also, and about the big three Celtics, but people don't realize Dennis Johnson was a Finals MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year. Bill Walton was an MVP. He was a Finals MVP. People don't realize just how good those teams were, and you took them down. And then everybody gonna say, "Well, they got no," but you still beat them. Nobody else beat them when they were getting old.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that they were getting old. We were that good. That's what I'm saying. So I gave you 86, 87. Those were the two best teams.
Right.
In 87, we had them beat.
You did.
In 88, we had the Lakers beat.
Mm-hmm.
So we were that good.
Right.
Now, when you look at Philadelphia, the Lakers, and the Celtics, every one of those teams that we just named in the 80s that were champions, all of them had 3 or 4 top 50 players on their team.
Yes.
Not one. They had 3 or 4 top 50 players on their team.
Yes.
Detroit Pistons, and this is why I say we were a great team. I was the only one as a top 50 player on my team. That's how good a unit we had become to compete against teams that had 3 or 4 top 50 players on their team.
Yeah, I think the Celtics had like 5 because the big 3, DJ and Bill Walton.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Hey, we're gonna talk about Isiah. You caught a lot of criticism, and people say, "Well, he just hating, he just upset." You said Michael wasn't my competition. I never chased Michael. I was chasing Larry and Magic. I was chasing the Celtics and the Lakers because they had what I wanted. Michael never had what I wanted. He was chasing me. I wasn't chasing him. Explain what you mean by that.
Just head to head, I was dominant over him.
Right.
When our teams met, when you go back and you look at until 91, when I basically had career-ending wrist surgery.
Right.
Up until then, my record against him and his team, it really was a competition there. And and most people think like we're, I'm 5 years older than him, but we're only a year apart, year and a half apart. So, but you know, he just wasn't my competition. Now, Bird.
He didn't have anything that you wanted. He didn't have no trophies.
No, and like I said, my focus was Bird, Magic, Dr. J, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
Those were the guys.
Right.
I don't care what anybody say. You can go back and look at history. Those were the guys.
They
Dr.
were.
J, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Kareem, Magic, James. Those were the guys.
Right. Because back then the Celtics were putting 4 players on the All-Star team. They'd have their 3 big guys and Dennis Johnson. I'm like, the East would look like the Celtics. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Is there anybody else in the East?
Yeah. Well, there was Milwaukee, because remember
Milwaukee was good. Terry Cummings. They had Bob Lanier. They had Alvin Robinson, Sidney Moncrief.
They would lose to
the Sixers.
Milwaukee would lose to Philadelphia or Boston.
Yep.
7 games.
Yep.
And that's how good that Milwaukee team was.
Yep. I remember like yesterday.
Yeah. So Chicago, I mean, and I'm from Chicago and I'm from the West Side, but you know, Jordan was, you know, he dominated a different era.
Right.
But if you put Jordan in our era, you know, he lost a lot in our era.
Right. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before 2 something.
We had Magic on the show at the end of December, and your name came up, and Magic was talking about what you and him went through and how you guys were able to sit down and patch it up.
Which was beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, everyone was big fans of that. But he also said he would like to see you and Mike patch it up. You called me after that, and we had a conversation on the phone about what was going. Do you care to share any of that?
Yeah, hey man, you know, I just want some people to be honest.
Yeah,
right? I got no problem sitting down talking with anybody, right? And as you can see, you know, I'm
your open book.
You know, I live with love, peace, truth, you know, honesty, courage. I stand on my square. I'm upright. You know, I'm independent, and I sit in any chair and I talk to anybody, right? But some people don't. They ain't been telling the truth, right? Now, anywhere, anytime, publicly. Don't call me behind the scenes, apologizing or asking your friends to apologize, right? You got on national television, and you called me an asshole. And then you said you hated me. You said that on national television. Now, if you didn't mean it, get on national television
You say that.
and apologize for it. Now, if you meant it, let it ride as it is. But, so I called you, and that same day, you know who I called? I called Magic Johnson. Magic was on a plane. They was shooting a commercial in Atlanta. Him, Sam Jackson, everybody else. We were staying in the Four Seasons Hotel. We missed each other, right? Because he said he had to go, so he on the plane, right? I called him up. Magic didn't mention Michael Jordan. All right. So I'm still waiting. You know, everybody say this stuff publicly, right? Okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do. All right, well, I'm the type of guy, I sit here, I talk to you. It ain't a person in this United States of America that I'm not willing to sit down and have a conversation with and break bread with. But if you lying and throwing stones from behind the scenes, okay, that's you. But if you honest and you upright on your square, I'm willing to deal with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, so that's all I know. Now, where do we go from here?
I mean, you told me something interesting. I mean, you had family that had stayed with him at one point.
Absolutely. Hey, when Jordan first came to Chicago, first of all, we were fans of his, and to some extent, still fans of his. my family, his family, not only did they socialize, hang out, but as I said, you know, I had a little nephew that lived with him. And everybody's still cool, right? Ain't no hate for Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We just want some realness, right? Just, you know, like I say, you got on national television. And ain't nobody nowhere has ever got on national television and called me an asshole and then publicly said you hate me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't heard that from you. I ain't heard that from you. I ain't heard that from no NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
And so and by the way, all them years that you supposedly hated me, you voted for me to be the president of your union.
Yeah, I seen a lot of pictures of All-Star games and y'all laughing and joking. It didn't look like hate.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, if that, you know, now maybe you felt like that privately and I didn't know. But now that I do know, and by the way, if you didn't mean it that way, then publicly say it. Don't privately say it. You know, Magic, we don't need a private conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This man did this on national television, internationally. I have to answer this question, right? In every interview that I sit down and do.
Mm-hmm.
You asking me this question, right? So now I'm the one who's looking like, oh, why are you talking about Jordan? Why are you saying this?
Right.
When you to put that out there, and now you at home or on your golf course or doing whatever you do, and now I got to answer this BS question.
Mm-hmm.
So if you man enough, and you, if you meant it, leave it as it is. But if you didn't mean it, then come out and clean it up.
The same way it came out.
Same way it came out, with the same intensity.
You gotta respect that though.
That's
You gotta
where I
respect
stand.
that. I mean, because if the shoe was on the foot, I know I've been disrespected a lot, but if somebody disrespected me on TV during the game, but also at the end of the game, they decided, okay, you know what, I remember I said that, let me clear this up before we get off air. I got to respect that. I can't hold it. I can't be mad at him no more because he corrected himself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you said Magic and I sat down and squash whatever we had going. Publicly. Magic Johnson apologized. He said, I'm sorry. If I hurt you, when I hurt you, I didn't mean that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I got to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
And we move on. But if you're going to let this linger out here in this basketball world, and you got everybody else talking, but you ain't saying nothing. Now, if you meant it,
Stand on it.
stand on it. But if you didn't mean it, clean it up.
Mm-hmm.